Happy sunshine, you guys. This is Kristen Yafayanes. I just wanted to kind of give you some confirmation that I received in regards to this message. This message is very dear to me. I was introduced to the name of Yahshua years ago, and tapping into Christ consciousness energy in my spiritual path and learning how Christ consciousness is connected to the heart chakra. And I had a dream, and I wanted to kind of combine the dream and some intuitive downloads and messages that I received from the Most High God, from ancestors and Christ consciousness. And I was led to look up the name of Yahshua through Gematria, and I saw that the name of Yahshua is connected to my ultimate angel numbers of 47, 474, 704, and I was compelled to give this message with all of the confirmation on top of confirmation that I received. And just a disclaimer that this message is a little slower, so be patient with me, as Christ consciousness was patient with me to get the message out. And here it go. Here's the message, the divine name of Christ. And once again, be patient with me through this message. It is a slower video. It's going to be two parts, and once again, here it is. A dream that I had, and I just feel like I need to stop this completely. And so this was maybe 2 nights ago. I don't even know where to start or how to start. Once again, I'm just honored to even be able to be up here. Every single time I'm up here, I'm like really honored, and I give thanks. Because the energy is heavy. I've been picking up a lot on Christ consciousness energy, and so I'm led to be a vessel right now for Christ consciousness. And once again, your belief in Christ consciousness, your belief in me being a vessel and a channel for Yahshua is not required. It's not required. I'm going to keep doing what's in me and what I'm led to do, and I give thanks for it, no matter who believes or not. No matter the views, no matter the comments, no matter what, I give thanks wholeheartedly. I do. And so I'm gonna just start by telling you guys the dream and getting. So I will give you my my interpretation of the dream, and I will allow Christ to, give interpretation as well. And if you find me pausing or stopping or coming off a little bit awkward or slow, it's because I'm a channel. I'm a vessel. I feel energy. A lot of the times I'm tapping into more of a feeling, which is my clairsentient abilities, and then along the way there will be some clairaudient, and I will be able to hear or maybe even see some other things that will coincide with what it is that I'm feeling. So let me start off with the dream. So it started off, I was in this building, and the building was an old building. I won't give every detail, but I will give what I'm led to give. It was a old building, an old historic building, and my daughter, my oldest, which is so ironic, and I'll get into that after this. Both of my daughters are very intuitive. My oldest, Yaya, she is more of the heart energy, and it's like literally like the yin and yang, which is another reason why I have on my white and black today, just because the yin and yang energy is source truth energy for me. And so Yaya is, is that heart center, is the love. She always confirms Christ consciousness energy, or energy that's centered around love, using the heart chakra, or being calm and being peace. Whereas Asha, my youngest, she's 6. Yaya is 12, Asha is 6. And it's funny how they're half and half like that. Once again, yin and yang. Just like right half and half, 6 and 12. But anyway, Asha is 6, and she's more like full of life, which is her name. Her name means life. Just more vibrant, more of a warrior spirit. Like, she don't back down. She's real tough and real strong. And I often have to kind of regulate her energy and get her to center herself, or else she's literally lit in that way. And they're both air signs. And once again, in my tarot deck, Source Truth always shows up in the swords energy. King of Swords, Queen of Swords, or Ace of Swords always show up, just to confirm that source is in the mix. What I'm speaking is truth. Whatever I'm speaking, I am guided to speak. And so Yaya was in the dream, and mind you, before doing this message, I was getting my space ready, getting my space cleared off and everything. And I was just so happened to be looking for my rose quartz. And literally, as I was looking for it, I heard Spirit say, "You don't need it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then Yaya, she's been gone with my mom, or whatever. And my mom, brought her back. And when she came in when I heard, "You don't need it." I didn't need the rose quartz. And when she came in, she's been gone over the weekend. So I didn't know what she had on. I didn't know what she packed in her bag, or none of that. I had no idea. And so when she came back, she's wearing a light green shirt with a heart on it, with her pink bonnet. And mind you, when it comes to stones and crystals, rose quartz, pink stones, and green stones are good for the heart. So she came in with a shirt with 2 hearts on it, a green shirt, and a pink bonnet. And I'm gonna call her in here, so I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. I ain't got time to be making it up. I really don't have time, y'all. Hey, Yaya. Yanis. She don't always hear me. Nazia. Come in. I'm calling you. Come on in. Come here.
I don't know why
I want you to bend down. Get in the camera. Bend down. Pink bonnet. Green heart shirt. Green heart shirt. Okay. That's it.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
time I need it. Come on, y'all go.
Okay. So, yeah, confirming, just confirming, this is in fact, Christ consciousness energy. This is in fact, dealing with matters of forgiveness, of love, of just his energy. I don't know what all this message is going to bring about. All I know is I'm being called and I'm doing what I'm called to do. Because I have messages when I'm telling you all to work from a heart space, forgive and things like that. But I'm here showing up for what it is that is needed for today. Hmm. So, my dream. So it was me and Yaya. We were going to a summer class that she was enrolled in, but the original class that I enrolled her in was already filled up, and it was too late for her to join that class. And so I took her to another one. I saw that another one was open, and I took her to that class. And when we got there, my mama bear mode and my intuition was heightened. It was like, okay, something feels off, about this class. In the energy, in the dream, everything seemed so like ancient and dated. Like before, but just in that class, though, everything seemed so dated. And at this point, I'm sorry, it was past vintage. It was past just vintage. It was ancient, but it was like a energy that was demonic. It was like eerie. It was like real sinister in the energy. And I'm like, okay. And this was but that feeling when I brought her to the class, that feeling wasn't as strong until I myself went inside the doors. But like leading up, and I told her I had my reservations at first, and I was like, okay, and I saw some other kids. When I saw those other kids in there or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna worry. Maybe this is just the energy of the building. The building is old. I didn't think nothing of it immediately until I turned her, I dropped her off. She went inside of the class, and then as I was walking away, my spirit team in the dream was like, go back and get your daughter. Like as if they was in my feeling, as if they was telling me already, what you're feeling is real. Don't even enroll her in. Don't even let her go in. And then so when I was walking away, I heard my spirit team was like, go back and get your daughter. And I'm like, what? Okay. And I went inside the room. And when I went inside the room, it was just like I said, that's when the feeling of sinister, that ancient, ancient, guys. And spirit is telling me, it's reminding me the 1600s. Ooh, 1600s. He said when the letter J didn't exist. And we know this. What I am saying right now is nothing new. Spirit wants me to say it's nothing new. You guys can do your research and whatever, but what I just said about the 1600s and when the letter J didn't exist, or the energies of when the letter J didn't exist, because the letter J came about in the 1600s, and I heard the 1600s, and then I'm here like predate that. So we're gonna go back. I might need my laptop. It's probably why they told me to turn this off. And so, actually, I'm gonna keep this selenite here. Radiation. And mind you, I don't have cards yet. So this is channeling. This is me just channeling what it is that I'm led to channel. So going back to the dream, they want me to get back to the dream. I give thanks. And so the energy was, like I said, sinister. It was very, very ancient, guys. This was ancient energy. I can't put it in no other, I can't put it in any other terms, but just ancient energy. And so I remember seeing, like, on the right of me, I remember looking, because I'm in the room now. I'm like visual, like, why are we not allowed in this class? Why is my spirit team telling me to literally, it's 1:47. Why is my spirit team telling me to get Yaya up out of this class? And so, is that my warrior baby? I can't make my life up, and I won't make my life up. I will never make my life up. Now we got Asha. She just came home from her dad. I'm about to finish my reading. Okay, work with me. You might think this is slow moving. You might think that I keep being distracted, but I don't. I'm rocking with Source Truth right now. So if you feel like this message is slow, if you feel like, okay, get to the point, we'll step up off, because this ain't your message. I'm not talking to you. You'll figure it out some other time. But I'm in the dream, in the room, trying to look at everything and see what my spirit team is trying to now show me. Because they highlight these kids, and they look like, the little ladder, like there were books, a bunch of books. And you know how, like, in some libraries, there are little ladders where you can have to climb up to get one of the books. Or the kids there were like maybe 5 of them, like just all on this ladder, and like kind of playing around or whatever, and getting the book. Was it 5 of them? Maybe 4 or 3. If the number of kids was significant, I feel like I would remember it. But it was kids or whatever, in their adolescent, maybe young teens, getting these books. And I also want to highlight the energy of, like, Roman Catholics. Spirit pointed out Jesuits for me, that stood out, was screaming at me, Jesuits. In a spirit, literally, I'm looking at this. I noticed all the books, and then my head, like, went to the left, and the left of me is like they made these images so, like, up in my face, as if they was, like, pushing my face in to really look at these. There were pictures, like little sculptures, little ceramic type pieces, of, like, art and everything, and they were, like, depicting ancient images of their Jesus. I'm gonna put it like that, their Jesus.
white images of their Jesus, of who they believe is the Messiah, and it's not. It was the Last Supper. It was I saw the Last Supper. I saw images of who they depict as Mother Mary. Just all these images, and when I looked at these images, that's when it really hit me in my whole my stomach, my chest, everything. It just welled up. Demons, demonic, ritual, demons. It was like literally, like that's what I was hearing and that's what I was feeling. Giving thanks, source truth, I ask that you encamp all your angels and ancestors and of protection around me. Fill this room, fill my home up with your angels, with the benevolent angels, benevolent warriors of my ancestors. Christ consciousness, Yeshua. Christ consciousness, Yeshua. In this moment, I want to ask that source truth, you guide my words. Guide my words, open my vessel, and protect those that is around me. This message is a timeless message. I ask that you protect me. I ask that you protect the viewers. Protect them of any negative influence, of any negative thought forms, of any negative deities and presence. I had to do that. I felt it. Every time I tell this dream, I know that I am tapping into a portal. I know that I am tapping into energy that the theys of the world don't want me to know. And I say this because I'm leading into the reason why I said that, why they don't want me to say it, why they try to block me from saying this, why they try to put it in my energy. Oh, I'm gonna look at as crazy, or oh, just everything. I go through the motions. But it kept popping out to me. And the Last Supper in particular, and I'm gonna get to that and connect some dots. And so these images, I know Spirit was kind of telling me, like, now do you see why it's important to tap into the right frequency of Yeshua? It's very important that we are tapping into the right frequency of Christ consciousness, because I'm sorry, not sorry, the energy where that letter J, that Jesus energy, where that came from, has spells behind it. It has negative demonic essence on it. It has rituals tapped on it to make people think that they are tapping into the correct frequency and the correct vibration of Yeshua. In this time right now, we need to be tapping into the right vibrations of Christ consciousness. So if you not well, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, so I don't want to call him Yeshua. Well, just say Christ. Just say Christ consciousness. It's Christ consciousness. But I'm sorry, we can't be saying, we can't continue to use the name Jesus. We can't. It has something attached to it. That time period, during that time when the name was pretty much ushered in, so to speak. They literally voted on the name. There was a lot of things that we don't know that happened spells were casted at that time, guys. And so Spirit showed me, had me zoom in on it. And so and when they had me zoom in on it, it felt like I was engulfed in something. And so I tried to like get away. It's like I told them, I was like, okay, I see it, you know what I mean, now get me up out of here. And as I was trying to move away from it, like move my actual physical body away from these sculptures and paintings and what have you, I was like, I literally did like this and tried to turn my body around or whatever to like walk the other way. And when I walked the other way, there was this man that was sitting there who was so creepy, so fucking creepy. And he seemed like he was some type of priest or, you know, some type of something. He was like, you know how they dress, you know how they look, but he had on black. I think he had on black though. I remember, I don't know. I remember black. I remember black and white, like black and white, like a priest, he was like dressed like a priest, but just a little bit. But he gave me the feel of like a priest from like the Roman Catholic days or whatever. And so, like I said, when I did like this, it's like my hand must have flinked back, and he thought that I was getting ready to touch this stuff, and he like slapped my hand, and I felt the slap and everything. Like, you know how, I don't know if any of you are like lucid dreamers, but I like felt the slap on my hand, and I looked like I wasn't about to, and I said I wasn't about to, no, I didn't say it out loud, but I said it in my head, like I wasn't about to touch that shit in the first place. Like, literally, that's how I felt. Like, I looked at him, and then I, like, how my body was, I automatically, like, had to turn back the way that I was, like, moving towards. And when I moved towards that way, I saw a bunch of ritual candles or whatever. And that's when I really started hearing like rituals. They're doing rituals. And so I'm like, okay, this is insane. And so I saw what I saw, got my baby, and we left. I literally got my baby and we left. And that dream sat with me because Spirit, literally, when I woke up, it was 3 something. And Spirit was like, when I woke up, Spirit was like, cleanse your home out now. And I was like, okay. I got up. I immediately, and I did a Warrior Wednesday message about the importance of cleaning out your home and clearing out your home after different types of dreams or whatever, because Spirit showed me that these dreams are portal. We are literally time traveling. Some of us are time traveling and going back to certain time periods, and with that opens up doorways and that opens up portals. And so if we don't properly cleanse ourselves, Spirit was wanting me to light something now. If we don't properly cleanse ourselves, you bring back that energy. You bring back that energy with you, and moments when you talk about it, as I'm talking about it right now, you pull that energy in. You pull that energy in. So just be mindful of that. Cleanse your energy after these heavy dreams and dreams that seem so real and so lucid. Cleanse your energy when you wake up. It's, you know, especially if you wake up in the middle of the night and your rest is not fully over for the night, go ahead and get up. You might not feel like it, you might be tired, but go ahead and get up and cleanse out your home, cleanse out your aura. You have children, cleanse out your home, cleanse out your aura. You know, say protection passages, versus pray, call in your spirit team, call in the balance of the Most High God to cleanse out your aura and cleanse out your energy. And so, right now, that was a dream. But I'm gonna tap into something, and it's already been 30 minutes. Look, God's ghostwriters review the Bible's hidden contributors. Can you see that? Literally, I open my computer up, and that's like these type of images is what I saw. These different type of images is literally what I saw. Mm, mm, mm. Um, okay. I'm just typing in something. Let's see. Okay. It's not pulling up directly. Hmm. So I heard the 1600s, 1524, 16th century. Which is the 16th. Oh. Hmm. So what I'm picking up, and then this take me back to another moment I have, and what I am intuitively picking up right now is spirit. We can all see what's going on in the world, and we can all pick up on and say what's going on is Bible prophecy and things like that. And if you are one to believe that, if you are one to believe that we are living in biblical times, and prophecies are being fulfilled, well then spirit, source truth, your angels and ancestors that are benevolent, your angels and ancestors that know the truth, they need you to tap into the pure essence of Christ. They need you to tap into the pure essence of Christ. And it is not Jesus. That may be who you know that energy to be because it was handed to you. It was told to you. It was just, you know, generation after generation. That's what was given to you. But it's not pure. It's not pure. It's not pure. It's tainted. I'm not telling you who to believe in or how to believe. I'm simply just giving you a message. I'm simply just giving you a message. I don't believe the name of Jesus is Christ consciousness highest self. I don't believe that that is his highest self. I'm not even going to say believe. That is not his highest self. That is not his highest form. Using messages. Christ consciousness. Using myself as a vessel for you. As a vessel for you. What messages do you have for the collective? So I got 4 of Swords. I got the Moon. And then I got 7 of Pentacles. And 10 of Swords again. So I saw 10 of Swords in this deck. 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is a deep rest. A reset is what I'm hearing. A reset. I'm getting the image of when Christ and what is biblically known. Look behind you. Don't it look like those biblical images? That stained glass, those stained glass images. And what I'm getting is, remember when, like in biblically, when Christ was laid to rest in the tomb? This is what I'm getting. There is a reset. There is a reset. Once again, things unknown, things hidden. What it is that I'm speaking of, like I said, I know that they don't want me to speak on this. I know that they don't want me to speak on this. Not even saying it's anything new up under the sun. It's not. I don't think that it is. But what I'm saying is that it needs to be remembered right now in this time. Things are happening. Spirit earlier wanted me to speak on reminding you all to look at the signs. Pay attention to the signs. The signs are all around us. The signs are around that just right in our face that the demonic energy is here in full force. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. A lot of them are literally like they are literally laughing, saying, how can people still be so mind controlled and falling for the same bullshit? Literally, centuries after centuries of their rituals and spells have been casted among the people, and we are still falling for it. We are still falling for it. Waiting on a change. Waiting on like literally waiting on a change, waiting on your like crops to bear fruit. But a lot of you are waiting on crops to bear fruit, not even realizing that the energy that you're tapping into is keeping you in a stuck vibration. It's keeping you stuck in a mentally. It's keeping you stuck mentally. It's keeping you bound, is what I'm hearing. Great mysteries of the world. I'm hearing great mysteries of the world. Great mysteries of the world. Mysteries of the world. Spirit is trying to get through to you. Spirit is trying to talk to you. Spirit is trying to talk to you directly. I'm telling y'all these words. Like I said, Spirit is trying to talk to you. Spirit is trying to get a message through to you. Rituals, mass rituals being casted. It's B and J. Look at the J. The J just starts screaming at me. There were some priests and high priests that literally rallied together. A lot of this was, you know, wars and a lot of conflict, caused a lot of conflict. I'm hearing an uproar. There was an uproar. Rituals, priest and high priest, and not, yeah, priest and high priest literally gathered together, did rituals, cast spells, and not divine spells, not divine rituals. We all participate in rituals. We all participate in rituals. But what ritual, whose rituals are we going to participate in? Whose ritual are we feeding when they have cast so many spells on the masses? They have kept you from tapping into your highest vibration. And then in return, now they have you binded and telling you that, oh, that's sorcery, oh, that's black magic. But then they turn around and use sorcery, actual true sorcery and black magic onto you. That's what is happening. That's what is happening. I've said things like this before, but I've never done an actual full-out reading on it. Yeah, to keep you binded down and held back. Spirit, give thanks, give messages. fruits of our labor, fruits of our labor. I'm hearing fruits of our labor. Going back to this Seven of Pentacles card. I'm also hearing earned gifts. Once again, binded and trapped. Binded and trapped. Keeping you away from the fruits of your labor. Binded and trapped, keeping you away from the fruits of your labor. There was something energetically, and not just with the moon in and of itself, but I really feel like there was some type of mass ritual and spell that was casted during this past full moon, because this past full moon was heavy, and if you wasn't a fighter, you literally got sucked up into another illusion.